I never thought my life could feel this perfect. Sitting across from Leah at our favorite café, I felt a warmth I couldn't explain. She laughed at something I said, a real laugh, not the polite kind people give when they don't care. "You're impossible," she said, shaking her head, eyes sparkling. "I know," I replied, smiling. "But you love it." She leaned closer. "Maybe I do." Her hand brushed mine, just enough to make my heart skip. Across the table, Amir rolled his eyes. "You're ridiculous," he muttered, voice low. "Excuse me?" I said, laughing. "Don't tell me you still fall for her tricks," he said, sipping his coffee. "She smiles at everyone like they're the only person in the world." "She's different," I said firmly. "You wouldn't understand." Amir shrugged. "Try me." Leah tilted her head, eyes narrowing playfully. "What's that supposed to mean?" "I think Amir's jealous," I said, grinning. "Jealous of what?" she asked, raising an eyebrow. "Of me," I said. "Obviously." She laughed again, soft and teasing. "Or maybe of you." Her voice carried something I couldn't name, a subtle edge, a hidden layer beneath the sweetness. I ignored it. Probably imagining things. Amir leaned forward. "You know I've got your back, right?" "I know," I said. "And I appreciate it. Just don't let her, you know," he said, trailing off. "She's not always what she seems." I frowned. "What do you mean?" He shook his head. "Never mind. Forget I said anything." Later, walking through the city streets, I couldn't shake a feeling I didn't want to name. Leah held my hand, fingers entwined, pulling me closer. "I can't wait for tonight," she whispered. "For dinner?" I asked. She smirked. "For everything." I laughed, heart full. "You're impossible." "Maybe," she said. "But you like it." That night, Amir called. "Don't get too comfortable," he said. "Trust me on this." "I do trust you," I said, though a shiver ran down my spine. "Good," he said. "Just, pay attention. Don't ignore the little things." "What little things?" I asked, trying to sound casual. "Side glances, whispers, smiles that don't reach the eyes," he said. "She's smart. Watch your back." I laughed it off, but I couldn't stop replaying her smile. Something felt off, but I didn't want to admit it. "Not yet." The next morning, she called. "Good morning, sleepyhead. Did you dream of me?" I laughed. "Maybe." "Maybe what?" "Maybe I did," I said. "You're always in my dreams." Her laugh came through the phone, sweet and familiar, but I caught a hint of something sharper beneath it. "Well, I hope I'm treating you well, even there." "You are," I said. "Always." We said our goodbyes, but the feeling lingered, the one Amir had warned me about. It was subtle, almost invisible, like a shadow at the edge of a sunny day. I pushed it aside. I wanted to believe in her, in us, in the life I thought was perfect. But deep down, a tiny voice whispered that things weren't exactly as they seemed. I didn't know it yet, but the first cracks in my world had already appeared. And I would soon learn that laughter could hide the sharpest knives. I didn't expect her to do it. Not now, not like this. I had told her something private, something I'd worked on for weeks, and she just shared it. With everyone. In that mocking tone she had, that laugh that made me feel small instead of loved. "You'll never guess what I just heard," Leah said that evening, leaning against my doorframe. Her smile was bright, innocent, but I could hear the edge beneath it. "What?" I asked cautiously. "Oh, don't look so serious. It's funny." She laughed softly. "You really think you're amazing, don't you?" I froze. "What do you mean?" "I mean, that little project of yours," she said, tilting her head, eyes glinting. I told Maya, and we had a good laugh about it. You're adorable, really. Adorable. My stomach twisted. You told her. My voice was sharp before I could stop it. Leah shrugged, still smiling. I thought she'd like it. It's harmless. Harmless. I repeated, louder this time. You made it sound like a joke. Like I'm a joke. Oh, come on, she said, stepping closer. Don't be so dramatic. You're taking it the wrong way. I felt heat rise in my chest. The wrong way. You shared something private. Something I trusted you with. Her laugh tinkled, soft and dismissive. I didn't mean anything by it. Honestly, you're overreacting. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Overreacting. I confided in you. I trusted you. And I told you, you're being dramatic, she said, eyes wide, innocent. You're reading too much into it. I sank onto the couch, running my hands over my face. I don't know if I can do this anymore. Do what? She asked, sitting next to me. I don't understand. Trust you. I snapped, my voice shaking. I thought you were different. Leah leaned closer, voice softening. I am different. You just expect too much sometimes. I stared at her, confused and humiliated. The warmth I felt before had vanished. I felt exposed, small. Am I expecting too much? I whispered, barely believing the words I was saying. She smiled, brushing a strand of hair from my forehead. See? There's that sensitivity. That's why I like you. I wanted to hate her, but I couldn't. Her smile still pulled me in, even though every part of me screamed to push her away. That night, Amir called. I heard what happened, he said, voice low and serious. You need to be careful. I can handle it, I said, trying to sound calm. Can you? He asked, and I could hear the worry in his tone. She's clever. She knows exactly how to get to you. I'm not that easy to manipulate, I said, though doubt crept in. Maybe not, he said, but you need to pay attention. Little cracks, they become big ones if you ignore them. I ended the call, heart racing. Amir always overreacted, didn't he? I wanted to believe this was just me, overthinking again. The next day, I confronted Leah. Why would you do that? I asked, voice trembling slightly. She blinked at me, wide-eyed. Do what? Tell people about my project. I said. You made fun of me. Her lips curved into that infuriating smile. I didn't make fun of you. I was sharing your hard work. Sharing? I repeated, disbelief clawing at me. It sounded like ridicule. Everyone laughed at me. Oh, don't be so sensitive, she said, leaning back. You're reading too much into a few words. They weren't laughing at you, they were laughing with you. Isn't that what you wanted? I wanted to scream. I wanted to throw something. Instead, I felt frozen, trapped in her calmness, her ability to twist everything. I don't know what to say, I muttered. She leaned forward, placing her hand over mine. It's okay. Really. Don't let this bother you. You'll see, it's nothing. And just like that, I wanted to believe her. I wanted to feel safe again. I wanted the warmth I had felt before. But deep inside, I knew something had shifted. A subtle fracture, tiny but sharp, had appeared in the trust I'd given her so freely. I couldn't see it clearly yet, but the first crack had formed. And when I looked at her, smiling innocently, I realized, maybe she knew exactly what she was doing. I didn't see it coming. Not here, not today, not like this. Hey, everyone, gather around, Leah said, her voice carrying easily across the conference room. I felt a chill. She had that way of speaking that made everyone listen, even when what she said wasn't kind. I approached cautiously. "What's going on?" "Oh, nothing," she said, smirking, eyes on me. "Just sharing something funny. You might want to sit down for this." My stomach twisted. "Funny? About me?" She tilted her head. "Well, sort of. It's about that little report you've been working on. The one you thought was so secret." I froze. "What do you mean?" Leah laughed, soft but sharp, and my face burned. "I just showed it to Jason and a few others. They couldn't stop laughing." "You really thought it was impressive?" I felt my knees weaken. You shared it?" "Of course," she said, acting casual. "You didn't mind, right?" "Mind?" I said, my voice rising. "You humiliated me in front of everyone." "Humiliated?" she repeated, mock innocence in her tone. "I was showing how dedicated you are. Everyone saw your effort." "Effort?" I shouted, teeth clenched. It looked like a joke. "I trusted you." Leah's smile widened, almost predatory. "Trust is a funny thing, isn't it?" Jason leaned against the wall, smirking. "Honestly, I didn't know you were taking this so seriously." "It's cute." I turned to him, fists clenching. "Cute? You think this is cute?" "It's not my fault she showed it," Jason said quickly, shrugging. "But yeah, a little embarrassing, maybe." "Embarrassing?" I hissed. "I poured weeks into this." Leah placed a hand on my shoulder, softening her voice. "I'm sorry if it upset you. I really didn't mean anything by it." I pulled away. "Didn't mean anything?" People were laughing at me. "Maybe they were admiring your dedication," she said smoothly. "You're too sensitive. You always take things too seriously." Amir appeared suddenly at my side. "Leave it, man," he said, voice low. "Don't give her the satisfaction of seeing you crumble. She humiliated me." I snapped. Right in front of everyone. Amir put a hand on my shoulder. "I know. I saw it. But trust me, you can't let her control your reactions. Not here, not now." I shook my head. "I can't just let it go." "Do you know what she did?" "I know enough," he said, tone serious. "And I'll help you. But we need a plan. Not a meltdown." I swallowed hard. "Plan? Amir. I just want to rip her apart." "Not literally," he said, exasperated. "Emotionally. Strategically. You'll get your chance." I wanted to believe him. I wanted to believe that I could rise above this, that my life wasn't crumbling. But the laughter still echoed in my ears. Every snicker, every whisper, every sideways glance felt like a knife in my chest. Leah walked past me, her perfume lingering. "Don't be mad," she said softly. "You know I didn't mean to hurt you." "Didn't mean to hurt me?" I muttered. "Do you even hear yourself?" She smiled, tilting her head. "You're so dramatic." "I love it." I couldn't respond. My blood was boiling. I wanted to shout, to scream, to make her feel the smallest fraction of what I felt. But I didn't. Not yet. Later, Amir and I stepped out of the office. "You okay?" he asked, eyes scanning the street. "Okay." I laughed bitterly. I've been humiliated in front of my colleagues. My career could have taken off today, and she destroyed it. Amir's jaw tightened. "It's not over. She thinks she's winning, but we'll see. You've got fire, man. Don't let her snuff it out." "I can't just wait," I said. "I need something." "Patience," he said firmly. "Your time will come. Trust me." I clenched my fists, thinking of Leah's smile, the way she twisted my work into a joke. The anger burned hot, but beneath it, something else stirred, a quiet, cold determination. I wouldn't be a victim. Not anymore. That night, alone in my apartment, I replayed every word, every glance, every laugh. The humiliation cut deep, but it also sparked something. I would rise. I would take back what was mine. And I would make sure she regretted ever crossing me. Leah had won this round, yes. But I could feel it already, like a fire flickering to life inside me. My thoughts were sharp, deliberate. I would be better, stronger, smarter. And when the time came, she would see me not as a fool, but as someone untouchable. I clenched my jaw. I'll rise again, I whispered. And you'll watch. I didn't recognize my own life anymore. I'd lost clients, credibility, even friends. The apartment that once felt like home now felt like a cage. The silence pressed against me, suffocating. Amir called one evening. You still alive in there? Barely, I muttered, staring at the blank walls. You need to get out, he said. You're letting her win if you stay buried. She already won, I said, voice flat. Everyone's laughing at me, Amir. My career, my pride, gone. No, he said firmly. She hasn't won anything. Not yet. You're alive, right? That counts for something. I don't feel alive, I admitted. I feel empty. Everyone abandoned me. Even the people I trusted. Then let me help, he said. You don't have to do this alone. I closed my eyes, remembering Leah's laughter the night she ruined my presentation. That sharp, sweet sound, like a knife cutting through my chest. And yet, somehow, I'd loved her. I could still see her smile, still feel the warmth she pretended to give me. Do you ever hate her? Amir asked softly. Every second, I whispered. But it's more than that. It's betrayal. It's trust shattered. Then use it, he said. Don't let it destroy you. Use it. I scoffed. Use it how? I don't even know where to start. Everything's falling apart. You start by learning, he said. I know someone who can help you. Mr. Khan. Remember him? Your old boss. I frowned. I haven't spoken to him in years. He's intimidating. That's exactly why you need him, Amir said. He sees potential. He doesn't sugarcoat things. He'll show you the path to get back on top. I swallowed hard. And you think he'll even agree to help me? He'll agree, Amir said. You just need to reach out. Face the fact that you're not okay, and then do something about it. That night, I called Mr. Khan. Hello, it's me, I said, voice trembling. Khan here, he replied. I wasn't expecting you. Everything okay? Not really, I admitted. I made mistakes. I've been humiliated. I don't know where to start. He was silent for a moment. You're admitting your weakness, he said finally. Good. That's the first step. You want to rise again. You need discipline, focus, and a plan. You'll learn. I'll help. I don't know if I can, I whispered. You can, he said firmly. You have fire. You're just letting it burn out instead of harnessing it. Come by tomorrow. We start then. I hung up and stared at the phone. Fire, harness it. Words that felt impossible but promising at the same time. The days blurred into nights. I sat alone, reflecting on everything I had lost. Leah's laughter, the way she twisted my trust, the friends who vanished without a word. But with each memory, a strange clarity came. I couldn't change the past, but I could prepare for the future. I won't let her break me, I muttered one night, pacing the apartment. I'll learn. I'll get stronger. And one day, she'll see what she did to the wrong person. Amir checked in daily. Progress, he asked. Slow, I admitted. But it's something. Every day, a little more control. Every day, a little more focus. He smiled. Good. Don't rush it. Recovery isn't instant. I spent hours reading, planning, writing down strategies. I revisited memories with Leah, not to dwell, but to understand. Her manipulations, her subtle cruelty, the way she made me doubt myself. It hurt like hell, but the pain was sharpening me. Remember that smile? I muttered aloud. The one that made me feel safe, you can't fool me anymore. And somewhere in that dark, lonely apartment, I realized something. The abyss I was falling into wasn't the end, it was a crucible. Pain, betrayal, humiliation, all melting me down, refining me, preparing me. By the time I closed my eyes that night, I felt a tiny spark, small, fragile, but undeniable. I could rise from this. I had to rise. Leah thought she had won, thought she had broken me. But she had no idea how far the fire inside me would burn once I learned to control it. I whispered to the darkness, I will come back. Stronger. Smarter. Unstoppable. And for the first time in weeks, I actually believed it. I sat in the quiet of my apartment, staring at the stack of notes and plans I'd made over the past week. The abyss had given me something Leah never could, clarity. I could choose to stay broken, or rise. Ready for round 2? Amir asked, leaning against the doorway. I'm ready, I said, though my voice carried more determination than certainty. No more waiting. No more letting her control me. Good, he said, smiling. Because she doesn't even know what's coming. I nodded. Patience, I muttered. That's my weapon. I won't rush. I'll rebuild, strategically. Amir raised an eyebrow. You sound like a chess player. Maybe I am, I said. Every move calculated. Every risk measured. I can't afford mistakes anymore. The next day, I met Rena at a small café. She had that sharp look, the one that immediately made me feel like I was speaking with someone who understood stakes. So you want to rise, she said, leaning forward. Not just get by, but come back untouchable. That's the plan, I said. I've been humiliated, used, but I'm done being a victim. Rena smirked. Good. Because patience alone won't cut it. You need allies, strategy, and timing. That's where I come in. You're serious about helping? I asked. Dead serious, she said. I know the game. I know the players. And I can make sure your moves are effective, subtle, but lethal in impact. I felt a flicker of hope. I like subtle, I said. No impulsive revenge. Just, quiet dominance. Exactly, she said. Focus on growth. Strength. Connections. And when the time is right, everything falls into place. You'll be untouchable before she even realizes it. Over the following weeks, I threw myself into work, networking, and training. Every phone call, every email, every meeting was deliberate. I watched, learned, and adapted. I avoided Leah entirely, but I kept tabs, through mutual contacts, social media, and casual mentions from Amir. She's out with friends again, Amir said one evening. Still laughing, still unaware. Good, I said. Let her think I'm broken. Let her believe she won. That ignorance will be her downfall later. You're cold, he said, shaking his head. I have to be, I replied. Warmth would be weakness right now. Late one night, Rena and I reviewed the progress. Your network is expanding, she said, flipping through notes. People respect you again, or at least, they're starting to. And your skill set, impressive. You're becoming untouchable, like you wanted. I can't let her see me, I said. Not yet. If she senses I'm back, she'll tighten her grip, manipulate again. Then stay hidden, Rena said. Work quietly. Build, grow, learn. The day you reveal yourself, it will be decisive. I nodded, absorbing every word. Every lesson, every tip, every plan, it was all part of the larger picture. You ever miss her? Rena asked softly. Sometimes, I admitted, eyes narrowing. Her laugh, her smile. I thought I loved her. But that's gone. I don't miss her. I miss what I thought I had. The illusion. That illusion will make your revenge sweeter, she said. I smiled, cold and controlled. I'm not focused on revenge yet. Growth first. Revenge will be a consequence, not a goal. Amir stopped by one evening. You're changing, he said, looking me over. I can see it. Stronger, sharper, smarter. She wouldn't recognize you if she saw you now. She won't, I said firmly. And that's the point. I'm building a version of myself she can't touch, can't manipulate. Someone she never imagined I could become. Days turned into weeks. I honed skills, strengthened connections, and carefully avoided impulsive temptations to retaliate. Leah continued her life, oblivious, while I transformed quietly, mentally, emotionally, professionally. One evening, alone in my apartment, I whispered to myself, patience, control, strength. The fire is inside me, and I'm learning to harness it. When the time comes, she'll see the difference. I recalled moments with Leah, not fondly, not with longing, but as reminders. How she laughed at my mistakes, how she twisted my trust, how easily she manipulated others around me. Each memory became fuel. Pain transformed into strategy. Betrayal became a lesson. This isn't just recovery, I said aloud. This is evolution. And evolution always wins. I glanced at my notes, at my plans, at Rena's advice scrawled in the margins. The pieces were falling into place. I wasn't just going to survive, I was going to thrive. And when the moment came, Leah's ignorance would be her undoing. I took a deep breath. I'm ready, I whispered. For everything. For the rise, for the control, for the day I become untouchable. And for the first time since the abyss, I felt the spark of certainty. A slow, deliberate, undeniable spark. I watched quietly from a distance as Leah's carefully constructed world began to crack. Her laughter no longer carried the same charm, it sounded forced, brittle. Even from afar, I could feel the tension radiating off her. She's slipping, Amir said one evening, scrolling through his tablet. People are starting to see through her. Finally, I muttered. She can't hide behind that smile forever. Careful, he said. You're enjoying this too much. I'm not, I said quickly, though a part of me thrilled at it. I'm observing. Just, noticing what naturally unfolds. Amir raised an eyebrow. Sure. Observing. The office grapevine had begun to buzz. Did you hear about Leah? One colleague whispered to another. She messed up the Carter project. And her numbers, they don't add up. I stayed back, pretending to focus on my own work, but I couldn't ignore it. David, her usual ally, began hesitating. I overheard him in the hall. Leah, we need to talk, he said, voice tense. Your numbers, they're off. Again. If management finds out, it could be serious. I've got it under control, she replied, voice clipped. I don't need you questioning me. You always say that, he said, shaking his head. But the clients are noticing, and so is the team. You need to adjust before it gets worse. Her silence told me more than her words ever could. The perfect illusion was fading. Later, Amir called. "David's pulling away," he said. "She's losing control. It's subtle, but it's there. Should I step in?" I asked. "Say something." "Don't," he warned. "Let karma do its work. You intervening could ruin the satisfaction, and the lesson." I wanted to argue, wanted to make her feel the sting directly. But he was right. I had spent months building myself up. This was her turn to face reality. Even outside work, her social circle began to shift. Friends who once laughed at my expense now glanced at her differently. I caught snippets of conversations in cafes and at events. "Leah's difficult lately," someone said quietly. "I don't know if she can be trusted." I felt a conflicted thrill. Part of me wanted to smile, to feel vindicated. But beneath it all, there was still pain. Leah had once been close. I had loved her, or at least, the illusion I thought she was. The betrayal cut deep. Watching her stumble didn't erase that hurt. "Doesn't it bother you?" Amir asked one night. "Seeing her falter while you feel satisfied?" "It does," I admitted. Part of me hates that I care at all. But another part wants her to learn, naturally. Let the consequences be hers. "That's wise," he said. "Patience, observation. That's power." I nodded. I keep reminding myself of that. One evening, I saw her at a social event. She laughed, but her eyes darted nervously, scanning the room. I noticed David standing back, arms crossed, shaking his head. A subtle shift, a small distance forming. "She's losing allies," I whispered to myself. "Every one of them sees cracks now. She can't manipulate forever." Amir nudged me gently. "Good," he said. "But remember, this isn't about gloating. It's about watching carefully, learning what patience can accomplish." I clenched my hands. "I keep forgetting that sometimes," I admitted. "I want to interfere, make her see me triumphant now." "Don't," Amir said firmly. "Let karma play out. That will hit harder than any direct confrontation." I exhaled, trying to calm the impatient heat in my chest. The satisfaction would come in its own time. I reminded myself of the months I spent in the abyss, the work, the planning, the growth. I wouldn't ruin it with impulsive indulgence. Even financially, I could see her missteps. Deals delayed, opportunities slipping through fingers that were once confident and sure. Subtle, invisible to most, but I could track it through contacts and whispers. "She's unraveling quietly," I said. "It's almost poetic." Amir chuckled softly. "You sound like you're enjoying it again." "Maybe," I admitted. "But not for me. For balance. For the lesson. She needed to learn that manipulation has consequences." That night, alone, I reflected on every conversation, every mistake she had made. I felt the old hurt flicker, but it was tempered now by patience and strategy. The fire inside me had become controlled, deliberate, and it simmered quietly while her world began to fray. I whispered into the darkness, "I'll let it unfold. But when the time comes, I'll be ready, untouchable, and far beyond her reach." And for the first time, I felt the strange, satisfying weight of karma beginning to take shape. I walked into the café where Leah always liked to sit, the one with the corner table and soft lighting. She looked up and froze, a flicker of something unreadable crossing her face. "Well, look who it is," she said, voice casual, though her hands trembled slightly. "Hi, Leah," I said, sliding into the seat across from her. Calm, collected. Not a trace of the person she once humiliated. She blinked. You look different. Confident." "I've been busy," I said, sipping my coffee. "Learning, growing, understanding what really matters." Leah smiled, carefully casual. Busy? Sounds nice. I leaned forward. Do you remember the Carter project? I asked quietly. How you shared my work with everyone, laughed at it, made me feel like nothing. Her eyes flicked away. That was different. I didn't mean to. Don't, I interrupted gently. Don't explain. Don't excuse. I know exactly what you meant. Her fingers fiddled with her cup. I thought you'd take it as a joke. I didn't think. You thought wrong, I said. You underestimated me. And everyone else, too. Leah's jaw tightened. You're angry. I'm not angry, I said firmly. I'm precise. Calculated. I don't waste emotion on the past anymore. I act on clarity, not chaos. She looked startled. Clarity? Yes, I said. I've spent months building myself, learning patience, strategy. I've watched, I've grown, and now, I paused, letting the weight settle between us. Now, I'm untouchable. Leah scoffed, trying to mask unease. Untouchable? That's a strong word. It's accurate, I said. Do you know why, Leah? Because I've stopped letting people like you control me. Every lie, every manipulation, every betrayal, it only made me stronger. Her eyes narrowed. You make it sound so deliberate. Like this was all planned. Because it was, I said calmly. Every moment of humiliation, every whisper, every sideways glance you threw, it was fuel. Fuel I've transformed into strategy, focus, and control. Leah's lips parted, searching for a word. I let the silence stretch, letting the power shift settle. You changed, she said finally, voice low. I didn't think. No, I said softly. You didn't think. That's why I survived. That's why I'm here, and you're still stumbling through your own chaos. She swallowed, glancing toward the door. Sarah appeared then, Leah's younger sister, eyes wide. Leah, is this true? About everything? She asked, voice trembling slightly. Leah's face hardened. Sarah, it's complicated. Sarah's gaze shifted to me. You've really changed, she said. I didn't expect. I've changed, I said simply. And that change means I don't fear your games anymore. I don't react to your manipulations. I act, deliberately, calmly, and effectively. Leah's hands curled around her cup. You're different. I didn't think you'd. Different? I asked. I'm evolved. And evolution doesn't bend to anyone's cruelty, Leah. It survives, it thrives, and it doesn't forget. Her eyes flickered with something, fear, regret, maybe disbelief. You're mocking me. I'm not mocking, I said, leaning back. I'm reminding you. I survived. I've grown. And now, for the first time, the power dynamic has shifted. Leah's shoulders slumped slightly. I never. You underestimated me, I said quietly. You assumed I'd stay broken. You assumed I'd react impulsively, let rage guide me. But I didn't. I watched, I learned, I prepared. Sarah placed a hand on Leah's arm. You hurt him. He trusted you. Maybe you need to see what that feels like. Leah's eyes met mine briefly, and I saw a flash of regret, too little, too late. I'm not here to hurt you, I said calmly. I'm here to show you that I don't need to. I am untouchable now. Your manipulations, your cruelty, they no longer affect me. The consequences of your actions are already unfolding. Leah's lips trembled, and for the first time, she seemed unsure, powerless. I stood, voice soft but firm. I hope you learn from this. And maybe, next time, You'll think before you break someone who trusts you. I walked away, leaving Leah and Sarah behind. Her world was crumbling quietly, and I didn't need to intervene. I had claimed my power silently, and for the first time in years, I felt completely free. I stared at the email glowing on my screen, rereading the subject line, urgent, Leah's project under review. I exhaled slowly. So, it finally begins, I whispered to myself. A notification popped up, Sarah's message. Did you see what happened? She wrote. I typed back, not yet. Tell me. Her reply came instantly, you should come downstairs. Leah's in the lobby. My stomach tightened, not from fear, but from the weight of something long overdue. I made my way down, step steady, mind strangely calm. Leah was standing near the reception desk, clutching a stack of papers. Her hands trembled. When she saw me, her expression flickered, shock, shame, something that looked almost like desperation. She whispered, "Can we talk?" I nodded. "Sure. Let's talk." We stepped outside. The cold air hit us, and she wrapped her arms around herself. I didn't offer comfort. She didn't deserve that from me, not anymore. "I don't know what's happening," she said, voice cracking. "They're reviewing everything I worked on. Everything. And people are avoiding me." I kept my tone even. That tends to happen when lies surface. Her eyes snapped toward me. "Are you saying I deserve this?" I looked at her, really looked. "I'm saying consequences were always coming. You just never believed they would." She took a shaky breath. "I didn't think things would go this far." "You didn't think I'd walk away," I said quietly. "You didn't think I'd get back up." Her lips parted, but she didn't answer. Sarah approached us, almost tiptoeing. "Leah. I told you before, you keep burning bridges. You never listen." Leah snapped, "Not now, Sarah." But Sarah didn't back down. "Why?" "Because things are crashing now. This isn't new. You've hurt people for years." Leah looked cornered, eyes darting between us. "Both of you think I'm some monster, don't you?" I shook my head. "No. Monsters know exactly what they're doing. You always thought it was harmless as long as you stayed admired." She gripped the railing. "Everyone's turning on me. Even people I helped." "You didn't help them," I said. "You controlled them." Her shoulders dropped. "I didn't want things to end up like this." I shrugged slightly. "Endings reflect choices." She gave a bitter laugh. "You sound so righteous now." "I'm not righteous," I replied. "I'm honest. Something you never liked." Her eyes glistened. "Are you enjoying this? Watching me fall?" The question hit unexpectedly. I paused, choosing my words carefully. "No," I said. "I'm not enjoying your pain. I just finally see things clearly. And seeing truth isn't the same as celebrating it." She blinked, stunned by my calm. Sarah crossed her arms. "Leah, you used people, even me. You never admitted anything." Leah's voice cracked. "I had to stay on top. You don't understand how hard it is." I sighed. "We all struggle. But most of us don't use others as stepping stones." She looked like she might break. I want everything back." "You can't go back," I said. "But you can start over. If you choose to." A long silence settled between us. She looked away. "People are saying I falsified the project report." "I didn't. I swear I didn't." I raised a brow. "Then why are you panicking?" Her mouth tightened. "Because I cut corners. A few. Not the important ones." Sarah rubbed her forehead. "Leah, that's the same thing. I didn't think it mattered. Leah cried. Everyone does it. I stared at her. Not everyone. That's the difference. She sank onto the bench. I'm losing everything. No, I said softly. You're losing the version of yourself you built on manipulation. There's a difference. She let out a shaky breath. And what about you? Are you satisfied now? Is this what you wanted? I thought about it. The anger I once carried. The nights I replayed her betrayal. The hope that someday karma would find her. It's not about what I wanted, I said. It's about what I needed. And I needed peace. Not revenge. She shook her head slowly. You've changed. I had to, I answered. Pain forces growth. Just not everyone grows in the same direction. Her voice dropped. Are you going to help me? I met her eyes. Help you how? Talk to them, she whispered. Tell them I'm not a bad person. I exhaled. I won't lie for you. But I won't attack you either. Whatever happens next, it's between you and your choices. The wind rustled the nearby trees. She looked small, something I never expected to see. Sarah sat beside her, gentler now. Leah, you can fix this. But only if you accept what you did. Leah didn't reply. I stepped back. I should go. She looked up quickly. Will you at least stay my friend? A faint ache tugged at me. But I already knew the answer. No, I said quietly. But I wish you find the version of yourself who deserves real friends. Her tears finally fell, silent and raw. As I walked away, I didn't feel triumph. I didn't feel victory. I felt closure. Because justice didn't look like flames, it looked like truth finally catching up. And for the first time, I felt free. I stepped into the office, a familiar building that now felt like a stage for my new life. The morning sunlight streamed through the windows, and for the first time, I wasn't just passing through, I belonged. Morning. Amir's voice cut through the quiet. He was at his desk, grinning. Morning, I replied, smiling back. I hadn't realized how much I'd missed this energy. You're glowing, he said. Not that you ever looked bad before, but, something's different. I feel different, I admitted. Every day, I remind myself why I fought to get here. Why I had to rebuild myself. Rena appeared then, leaning against the doorway. You finally look at peace, she said. And sharp. Both at once. Impressive. I laughed lightly. Peace and sharpness. I like that combination. You should, she said with a sly smile. It suits you. But it took work. Every bit, I said. Months of strategy, patience, and observation. I finally understand what control feels like. Amir leaned back. Control and growth. You've gone from reacting to acting. That's powerful. I've learned that strength doesn't scream, I said quietly. It doesn't retaliate impulsively. It moves quietly, deliberately, and consistently. Rena nodded. Exactly. And people notice that. They respect it. You've earned this, not because of revenge, but because you became better than you were yesterday. I glanced around at familiar faces. There were smiles, nods, greetings, genuine acknowledgments. No hidden agendas, no whispers behind my back. For the first time in years, I felt safe in my own skin. Mr. Khan appeared then, walking briskly toward me with a folder in hand. I heard about the conference presentation, he said. Your insights were spot on. Everyone is talking about it. Thank you, sir, I said. Your guidance made a huge difference. I couldn't have done this without your advice. You've grown, he said, eyes sharp and approving. Not just professionally, but personally. That's rare. And valuable. I nodded, feeling the weight of his words. I've had to learn quickly. Some lessons. I didn't want, but they were necessary. He smiled knowingly. Life teaches. Some lessons hit harder than others. You survived and thrived. That's what matters. Later, Amir and I sat in the cafe downstairs, sipping coffee. You know, he said casually, I think you finally understand the difference between people who are loyal and people who just pretend to be. I do, I said. And I've learned to appreciate the loyalty I have. You, Rena, Mr. Khan, genuine people make all the difference. He smirked. And you've stopped wasting time on the others. Exactly, I said. Life is too short to let manipulation or betrayal steer me. I've learned to steer myself. Rena joined us then, setting down her cup. You look unshakable, she said. Confident, calm, aware. And still, approachable. That's a rare combination. I chuckled softly. I want to stay approachable. I don't need people to fear me, just to respect me. That's enough. Amir leaned forward. You've reclaimed your life completely. Career, respect, friendships, even self-worth. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of me too, I said quietly. Not because I won, but because I didn't lose myself along the way. I didn't become someone else to get back what I wanted. Rena smiled. And that's why this is more satisfying than any revenge could ever be. I nodded, feeling a swell of gratitude. It's about the journey, not the payback. Every mistake, every betrayal, every setback, it's all part of shaping who I am now. I'm not naive anymore, but I'm not hardened. I've learned balance. Amir laughed softly. Look at you, philosopher of the office. I grinned. Maybe. But it's true. I can face life with clarity now. I can trust, I can love, I can build, without fear of being destroyed. And you're stronger, Rena said. Resilient. Wise. And still human. I've learned that growth isn't about erasing pain, I said. It's about understanding it, mastering it, and turning it into strength. That's how you rise above. Amir lifted his coffee cup. To rising above, then. I raised mine in response. To rising above. To loyalty, to growth, and to the people who matter. The warmth of the coffee matched the warmth in my chest. I felt complete, not perfect, but whole. I had reclaimed my life, my self-worth, my pride. And the world finally reflected the person I had become. I sat alone on the balcony, the city lights twinkling below, a quiet reminder that life moves on whether we're ready or not. Amir's voice buzzed in my mind from earlier, you've come a long way. I whispered, yeah, farther than I thought I could. Rena's message popped up on my phone. Coffee later? We should celebrate your growth. I smiled. Absolutely. Yet, for a moment, I just stared at the horizon, thinking about how far I'd fallen, and how far I'd risen. I murmured to myself, Leah. I don't even hate you anymore. I just, understand. A thought struck me. I called Amir. Hey, you there? Always, he said. I was just thinking, about everything. About how much I hated her, feared her, and wanted revenge. You wanted it badly, he said softly. I saw it in your eyes. I did, I admitted. But now, it feels unnecessary. Karma did its work. I didn't have to touch it. I didn't have to act. I just had to live my life better, stronger. Exactly, he said. You chose evolution over retaliation. I chuckled quietly. I never thought I'd say this, but watching her crumble, it wasn't sweet. It was, neutral. A reminder of consequences. A lesson she ignored for too long. Amir paused. You've grown. Mentally, emotionally. You're unshakable now. I hope so, I said. I still feel the echoes sometimes. The humiliation, the betrayal, the sleepless nights. But they're quieter now. They're lessons, not chains. Amir's voice softened. And you're surrounded by people who truly care. Rina, Mr. Khan, me. Loyalty matters more than noise, right? I nodded. More than anything. I learned that carefully. Not everyone deserves your trust, but the ones who do, you hold on to them. I thought about Leah again. I could almost see her panic-stricken face from months ago. But now, that image brought neither anger nor triumph, just clarity. I guess she'll be okay eventually, I said to Amir. She'll realize her mistakes, or she won't. That's her path. Mine is here. Mine is forward. Wise words, Amir said. You've changed completely. I have, I whispered, almost to myself. I'm not the same naive person who laughed at jokes that cut deep, who trusted everyone blindly, who let betrayal define my days. I am stronger. I am deliberate. I am free. I glanced at my phone again. A new email from Mr. Khan, your leadership inspires. Keep going. I smiled, feeling the warmth of recognition. Not hollow praise, this was respect earned. I thought about the moments when I'd doubted myself, when I'd felt crushed under the weight of deceit and humiliation. Those moments, I muttered, were necessary. They built me. Every tear, every sleepless night, part of the foundation of who I am now. Amir's voice chimed again. You should write this down one day. Your story. People need to see what resilience looks like. I laughed softly. Maybe. But it's not about teaching. It's about remembering. Remembering that pain doesn't have to break you, it can make you. Rina appeared on video call, waving energetically. Hey, philosopher. You look calm. Radiant, even. Calm, I repeated. And content. You taught me to value patience, Rina. Strategic patience. Not impulsive revenge. She smiled. And look at you now. Thriving. Untouched by bitterness. That's real power. I nodded, feeling a quiet pride. It feels natural, not forced. Like I've finally aligned with who I'm meant to be. I'm not perfect, but I'm whole. I'm balanced. I trust myself, my decisions, my instincts. And I don't carry grudges. Good, Rina said. That's exactly where you needed to be. Amir added, and remember, closure isn't about others. It's about you. You own your life now. I know, I said softly. And owning it means letting go. Forgiving without forgetting. Living without bitterness. Thriving without revenge. I leaned back, eyes on the lights below. Leah, may she learn, may she not. It doesn't matter anymore. The person I am today, isn't defined by her actions or by anyone else's. It's defined by how I chose to rise above. Silence settled around me, not empty, but full of understanding. I felt it in every fiber of myself, resilient, strong, and free. And as I looked at the horizon, I whispered to no one in particular, I've survived, I've grown, and I'll continue to rise. Always. For the first time in years, I smiled without hesitation. Life was no longer about what I lost, it was about who I became. And that was enough.